I'd like to call the Baldwin City Council work session for May 6th, 2025 to order, please. This evening, Councilman Eric Heath is with us. He is on the line. Eric, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Thanks for being with us. Okay, so we have a full council this evening. There being no public hearings, no old business, we're going to move right into new business this evening. The FY26 budget timeline. Ms. Woodmaster?
My pen is in the process of exploding.
Sorry. Different one?
Nope, it's fine. I'm just gonna hold it up. I don't need to write it. Things are fine. Well, good evening.
Good evening.
All right. In tonight's packet, you do have the updated budget timeline for the FY26 budget. There were a couple of changes from the first time that we presented this. The first major change is the town hall being moved to May the 20th. We will have a full council at that meeting. For the 20th, it'll be at the community room up at City Hall. We do have, we're putting it in the newspaper and on our website for the 2 weeks prior. So that is also on there. We did not historically do this. We typically send a mailer out to everyone, but with rising costs in postage and the turnout the last couple of years, we thought it would just be beneficial to put it in the newspaper, put it on our Facebook page, and then on our website for 2 weeks leading up to it. And then we have the proposed making the budget available to the public for the public's the availability to view it, whether at City Hall or on our website, is the 23rd of May. And then that following week will be the budget hearing, or 2 weeks after that will be the budget hearing on June 9th. Our goal is to have the budget adopted on June 26th.
And remember, that's the night that we changed the date, right?
Yeah.
For GMA. So the 26th is actually a Wednesday or Thursday? What is
Thursday.
that? Thursday. Okay. So council, make sure you have that change of date on your calendar.
Yes. Yeah. I've been trying to talk to people, trying to get them to come to the town hall. They're like, yeah, no big deal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But the budget will be available per usual for them. This is just one extra opportunity that residents would have to give us feedback.
Has department heads, you and department heads, have you already gone in and done your slashing and burning?
Yes, I sent it to department heads over the weekend. There's still a couple of changes that I missed or they've added since then. I'm hopeful to get that done by tomorrow afternoon, so you guys should have it in your email tomorrow evening.
Okay.
Does council want to get together, like I know only 3 of us at a time can get together, but I had,
Ms. Woodmaster and I just talked about that last night.
Yeah.
yeah, cause
Have some small group conversations.
right, just, cause we really do hold each other accountable for going over the budget line by line and just, seeing if there's as many pair of eyes as can be on it.
Well, and mayor plus 3 is a quorum, so we can't,
So-
we just have to make sure that we
Yep.
don't have a quorum that we
Yeah.
buy bail sunshine laws.
So 3 council members, maybe if you got 3 council members and one of those 3 can go to another 2 and kind of say, hey, this is what we went over, what do you guys, how do you feel about that, Nancy?
I'm good with having small groups.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Martin, are you interested?
He's giving me the death stare.
Okay. Okay.
What do
that's
you
fine.
mean more work?
Look,
Another meeting.
yeah, look, you and I are willing to meet with
Yeah.
everybody
Sure.
about this, so maybe we
Yeah.
can set a couple of these up and see, who wants to come, but I think that would be beneficial to do.
I do too, yeah.
Okay. Are we happy with this timeline? Yeah,
Yes.
yes?
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Keith, do you have the packet with you? Does he have the packet? Yes, are you okay with the timeline?
Yep.
Okay, all right, so what's our next, this is for conversation right now, so,
Do it.
Ms. Woodmaster, this is just for conversation, we don't have to
Yeah, this is just our plan.
Okay, that's our plan. Just putting
Yeah,
our
you're
plan
not
out
making
there.
a decision on the budget until
No.
the first.
Okay, sounds good. All right, the next item on the agenda is Highland Point manhole adjustments.
Yes. So a couple of weeks ago, we brought to council, 2 road paving projects. One of them is the Banks Ridge Banks Highland Banks Terrace. And then there was Highland Point and Dawn Place, added in there as well. It's about a $50,000 project. And that is to, if you've driven through Highland Point, you know how bad that road date, May 21st or 22nd. I believe we're tying down those dates. But we have until October 30th to revise the plan, make sure that it's publicly available, and then it's sent into GMRC for final review. So the goal is to have the kickoff meeting the month of May, and then go through some of the nuts and bolts of it in June and July, and then be working on that final document with the public in August.
And last 5 years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
it was during COVID. It
Yeah.
was during
It
COVID when we
was.
worked on the last
We
one.
did it all over Zoom.
Yeah, and I know Andrea Harper was on there, Eric was on there, I think.
Oh, that's right.
I think that's how I met Eric.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, I forgot about that. Look at you.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I know there are a number of citizens who come out to clean up day and our events, and I'm happy to reach out to some folks and see if they want to join us. Once you nail down the dates and times,
Yep.
I can reach out to some people. So is there anybody on council who's just dying to be on the comprehensive plan?
I'd rather be on the water board.
All kinds
He'd
of-
rather be water boy than, I mean, I probably would, I'll get in the dunking booth. That'll be fine. In the dunking booth, yeah. It's important. The thing is, it's extremely important. And I think, most of you, maybe not newer council, but, I think some of you are familiar when I grabbed the iPad and I'm like, actually it was this time 2 years ago. Then I'm like, look at the lack of participation. And, an article was written that I was admonishing the public. Well, I'm gonna do that again. And, the thing is that, you don't get to use us as punching bags and yell at us if you aren't coming in and participating and telling us what it is that you want. You're the boss. You guys, we may have some conversation about and helping the public understand what exactly it is that they're looking at and that they're hearing. Government is boring, unless I'm there, but government is boring. And so a lot of people don't pay attention to it, but the truth of the matter is that it affects every single one of us and every aspect of our lives when we're out driving in the community, we're shopping in the community. God forbid you got an animal that needs, you need some help from animal control, you need help from, you wanna know how your city's being built. It affects everything. It's so important. And it is way easier to come back and yell at people who are the ones up here making decisions. But if you're leaving them to make the decisions without any input, then you don't get to yell about it. You don't get to use this as a punching bag. Get in here and help us figure it out.
And the comprehensive plan is literally that. It is a comprehensive plan for the city. It's our vision for the next 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
So, we do benefit from citizen involvement, saying, you made strides this way, wish you were working on this, and then we can put our plans in. And we refer back to the comprehensive plan when we're looking at, items to budget or events to have, what do the citizens want?
Well, what direction do you want your city to go in? What kind of city do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want it to look like?
Where do you want the growth?
Where do you want the growth? Where do you
What
not
kind of
want
growth
it?
do
What
you
kind
want?
of growth do you want? It's just, the county actually had fairly good input with their comprehensive plan, which was last year, right? And what they said was, we want the people said this. The people said, we want the northern end of the county, not country, to stay rural.
We want the growth to happen in the south end of the county. Well, guess who's in the south end of the county? We are. So, tell us what you want us to do, because it's getting shoved up our rear ends, literally. And so, you know, come in to just, please participate, please.
Okay, so once we know the dates, we can continue to talk about the comprehensive plan. This doesn't need to come forward for Monday, it was informational.
Yeah, we really just want people to be a part of the group,
What's the goal? How many people would you like to have?
between 10 and 15.
Okay,
Is
is
it
it gonna be like
That would be amazing.
kind of like a focus group type of
Yeah,
situation?
yeah, we'll meet probably once or twice a month, most likely over Zoom, a combination of Zoom and in person, just to tie down the different sections of the comprehensive plan. So I would say that it's in total over the next 6 months, about a 40 to 45 hour commitment.
And five years ago, 5 years ago, we also do a questionnaire for residents?
Yeah, there will be another one too. The survey will go out in English and in Spanish, on our website.
We had like 97, how do I even
Yeah,
remember that?
that-
97
Responses.
responses to the survey. Now, some of them were definitely trolls, and that's okay, because we had a good laugh at those. But they were fairly helpful. It just, you know, I forgot about that, so I'll take some of my comments back. We just really need participation. It's important.
And it's also helpful to look at your current comp plan, so, which is on our website, so you can look it over, see where we were 5 years ago. And again, we were in the throes of COVID, so. All right, moving on to announcements. Assistant Chief Ferguson, you had an announcement to make? He wanted to introduce somebody. Okay, well, while he's trying to get the new officer, Alice, one thing I wanted to tell you, we've had a pretty good week. I've had some pleasant phone calls from folks about our staff and interacting in the city. So people are interacting in the city and letting us know good things, and so, you know, I was able to put a lovely email in Chief Jones's mailbox Saturday. I had a call from somebody who lives out of the county who had an interaction with one of our police officers and called to say it was a very pleasant, professional interaction.
They didn't call you?
No, it was wonderful. And then, you know, things like the chipping service. I had another resident tell me he could not have done a better job chipping, so I was able to send Scott a positive message. So, yeah, you know, we get those.
That's amazing.
It's not always sticks.
Oh, thank goodness. Most of the sticks are on Facebook, where life isn't real, but, you know.
So, he's actually on a dispute call right now, so it's gonna be a little bit. But it was Officer Clay Goddard. I think he said he met you in your neighborhood the other day. But he come to us from, he last worked in Franklin County, but had previously worked with, Gwinnett County Police Department as well. And, he's on his night shift rotation, so, got several years' experience. So far, we really like him.
Oh, you love him, that's what it
Hey,
says.
so far.
So far.
So far.
I told him I was gonna introduce him to y'all tonight, so he's probably trying to hide from me.
Welcome to the jungle, right?
If he's on the call, we wish him to be safe.
Yes.
Okay, announcements. Public Safety Day, Ms. Woodmaster, are we still hoping that we
We're
can get
making
it?
final call tomorrow.
Okay,
With both chiefs. We're like we're either having it or we aren't. So, but if we aren't gonna have it on Saturday, we will have it.
okay. So as of right now, Public Safety Day is scheduled for Saturday, May 10th from 9 to 12 at Baldwin City Hall. It's a free event for all ages with demonstrations and activities regarding public safety. Please check our Facebook page to find out if it has been postponed due to inclement weather. We're keeping an eye on the storms this weekend. Also, the City of Baldwin will host a town hall meeting for the FY 2026 budget at 7:30 p.m. on May 20th at the Baldwin City Hall Community Room. We invite citizens to ask questions, meet department heads and staff, and discuss the future of Baldwin. And lastly, join us for Theron's Theater, previously Movies in the Market, at the Tap Yard on May 23rd, 8 p.m. for a free screening of Moana. Bring a chair, blanket, enjoy Night Under the Stars with your friends and family. Concessions are available, with all proceeds going to Shop with a Hero. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on the weather for that one too, right? This is the second time it's already been rescheduled.
Second or third?
Well, this is our third night, so, again, we've talked about some, well, we've talked about maybe starting our events in June. You know, a little
May
less
is the
rain.
May's the wettest
Yeah.
month of the
Yeah.
year, yeah.
You know, good intention, we've been dying to get together for things, but it might not be our best option. I am also gonna take a point of privilege with an announcement. This is officially City Clerk's Week, and I would like to recognize our city clerk, Ms. Erin Gathercole, for doing such a fabulous job for our city. The comments that we get from business people who are looking for licenses, the work that she does for us. So thank you for everything that you do for the city. It has just been a joy to watch you grow in this position. Thank you very, very much, Erin.
Thank you. I don't know how to put that in minutes without sounding objective.
I am
Congratulations to me.
Yeah, you have like little thick wordly things next to it. I am.
Yes, the scroll work, a nice banner at the bottom.
Make sure you do that little smiley face with the kissy heart.
They praised me.
Are there any announcements from council?
Yes, sorry. Our last announcement, I made the announcement that the community came together and helped someone in need here in Baldwin. That actually led to discover an additional need. So the community came together before I could even get to the property. They had already had it all cleaned up. Amazing turnout. Really a humongous blessing to the resident, but it was also a blessing to me in that I just love to see things like that come together. That led to another need. There's a woman who very quietly, and I'm not gonna say her name because she likes to remain this way, she very quietly helps the severely marginalized folks in our community, not just in Baldwin, but in this county. And these are people who are so severely marginalized. These are people who suffer abuse, people who suffer homelessness, and she is an incredible blessing to them. She's in constant prayer for them. She is coaching them. She is helping them find resources. But she does this and yet neglects her own self, her own property. So she's got a deck that is falling in, and code enforcement is not, on her tail about it or anything like that. Actually, it's still kind of, it's in place, it's just not safe to walk on it. She's also suffering from cancer that she's had for multiple years. So she's not taking care of herself, and she's caring for everyone else to her own detriment. And I am trying to put together a few volunteers to provide some lumber and to provide some labor. I believe I've got the labor. I've got a little bit of seed lumber from remodel, and I've normally got some lumber at the farm. But I've got an entire cut list of lumber and supplies that are needed to rebuild a 10x10 deck so that this woman who's elderly can sit peacefully on her deck without the worry of falling through. It's also just, it's helpful to her. And so I just, I want to put that out there. I'm actually going to put a post on Facebook later on tonight when everybody's online, because that's when people seem to pay attention. On my personal page, and also out on some of the other, community groups, and just to rally people together. But I'd love the help from our media outlets to help this woman. You all probably know who she is, but again, I'm going to keep her name private. But she's an incredible person, and I cannot imagine going through what she goes through and still give everything that she has to give back to the public, to people who are even worse off than she is. And so, yeah, I'm just really proud of our city, really proud of our community, proud of our code compliance officer has been feeding me little, hey, we might can help this person and help this person, and where, a lot of people in the community are yelling about, this is the government and they're telling us what to do with our property. In Baldwin, we're helping people. And I'm just really, really proud of that, so.
We're trying.
Yes,
We're trying.
we are,
So
yes.
if it's on your heart to help the friend of Alice, please contact Councilwoman Venter in ways that you might be able to assist.
You can find me on Facebook. My phone number is 706, oh, it's not 1-900. It's, I started to say that. 706-968-6438.
Okay, moving on, thank you. Any other announcements? Any announcements from staff? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that.
I have a motion from Councilman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.